Good morning. Good morning, guys.
Good morning. Thank you for having
Youngstown
us.
Talk Channel. Yeah, it's looking a little different today. Everyone may notice I'm not Joe Danier. I'm in the driver's seat this morning. I'm drunk with power. I don't even know what to do with myself. But so yeah, Joe is out today where I'm filling in, and I have guests, which is always exciting, from Symbolik Creations, Emmanuel and Taylor. Yeah, so why don't you guys go ahead and tell everyone real quick what it is you do, what Symbolik Creations is.
Sure. We are a photo, video, and drone operator team. We
Nice.
mostly specialize in weddings. We do a little bit more than just weddings, but mostly it's been just weddings. But yeah, we're local. We're in the area here. We do just about anything you could possibly think of.
Nice. So really if someone wants like not just pictures but videography, and I like how you said you have the drone too. You do like the drone footage and everything at weddings. That's
Yep.
so cool. Is that really popular?
It's getting popular. It also depends on like people's budgets too. So
Sure.
sometimes when people look at it, it's like, is it really worth the extra dollar? I always tell them this is, your one special day. You're gonna want something to remember it by. You're gonna have all the pictures on the ground. Maybe you want something of the air too. You can see everything from up top. We can get some cool footage of like drone flying by during your ceremony over to people, do some standard shoots. It turns out really nice.
Very cool. Very cool. I'm going to yell for BJ in the back, my producer here. I need to see the comments, BJ, and it's not working for me. So I need my tech savvy people to come help me up here today. So you're probably about to enter your busy season then, I would imagine. Springtime, summertime, is that when you say you guys probably get the busiest?
Yeah, so like every year is a little bit different.
Thank you so much.
This year, I think it was because we were so busy last year, August, September, October. Um, we didn't get too many people um, inquiring for the beginning of this year. That may have, to do with either budgeting or we were just too busy to be able to get to those people or advertise as much. Um, but starting June all the way until the end of the year, we're going to be well into December with weddings nonstop every weekend.
Oh my gosh, every weekend too. You give up your weekends. That's got to
Yeah,
be rough. So, are there still spots available if someone is getting married in 2026? Are they still able to call if they're looking for a photographer or
absolutely. Yep.
okay.
There's we usually update our calendar. If we get a new inquiry, we'll put up the calendar fresh on Instagram or Facebook. We'll have it up there for everybody to just go and see. We're trying to still integrate it to our new website to where people can still look at the calendar there too. But for now, everything's on Facebook, Instagram, and we usually keep that up to date.
So just look up Symbolik Creations, social media,
Mhm.
website, and give you guys a call, right?
Yep.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much for being here. And I know you like to typically interact with Youngstown Studio. We appreciate all of our people, all of our listeners who interact with us in the morning. We've got a couple of regulars, and I feel like you're becoming a regular a little bit. And,
You guys have unleashed a menace in me, so it's like
oh
I'm going to
no! Okay, so
comment when I can.
we're gonna get into it today, I guess. Yeah. Do you guys have any topics in mind or anything? I know typically we get a little controversial on here, which you can be if you want, or we can make it lighthearted if you want. I'm going to go ahead and let you decide.
Well, so I feel like when people are trying to prepare for um, a wedding, they're looking for their vendors. A lot of the things that I'm seeing online now is, um, especially in like the wedding industry, there's a lot of scammers, a lot of
Mhm.
false advertisement. It doesn't take a lot in this day and age to make it look like you are a professional photographer behind a fake website or domain or Instagram page. You can just steal photos right off the internet now and
Yeah.
remove watermarks. And you have your own personalized business as a professional photographer, videographer, what have you, and you can talk a very good speech to somebody, but you're not getting what you paid for. And when it comes time for your wedding day, you end up without anybody at all. You're just going to have, your family, your friends, but where's your photographer? Where's your videographer at? They didn't show up. Then you find out that it's a scam at the end of the day. And that's a lot that I'm seeing out there now too.
Oh man. So make sure, would you say have like an in-person meeting?
Yeah,
if you're booking something first. Don't just think they're going to show up the day of.
I mean, Skype or, Skype, I think still.
Yeah. Skype, Zoom.
Yeah, so like a Zoom meeting or Teams meeting, something like that, is a little bit more, at home, a little bit at ease right there where you don't have to meet in person, which awesome. But I would always recommend you go and meet your photographer, videographer, or any vendor in person. You want to see that, hey, this is who I actually have showing up to my wedding day. You don't want to have somebody that is just behind a camera.
Yeah.
And you never get to see them in person or meet them in person. And when it comes time for your wedding day, they don't show up at all.
Speaking of cameras, this might be a silly question, but I've always sort of wondered this. A lot of people have these smartphones now. iPhones have all kinds of different cameras on them. That can be good. There can be good quality. What do you say if someone's like, I've got an iPhone. I've got a really great camera on my smartphone. I can get good pictures. I can tell you've experienced this before, so maybe it's not a silly question. What is the difference? Or can you actually like get good quality with the iPhone, or were you like, no, let's not use those?
Honestly, the way that I kind of see it is you're investing a whole boatload of money into one day, one of the most important and special days of your life. Why even bother somebody with like an iPhone camera, anything like that? Let them sit back, enjoy the wedding, enjoy themselves, and have fun. So, I mean, we're there as the professionals to where, we don't personally know the bride and groom unless we meet them prior. But at the end of the day, I mean, we're there to perform the service, and that's exclusively what we're there for. I don't see the point in personally bothering somebody, that has a phone camera. I mean, maybe if you're on a really low budget or you can't really afford something like that, there's people for everybody in our industry. But at the end of the day, it's also just much higher image resolution. Another big thing is if you want prints for like an album, I don't always see it as much anymore, but I do still see it's relatively common.
Yeah.
You may not get the resolution that you need with like a cell phone photo, but I've seen instances to where, again, with photographers not showing up, people on iPhones in theory can save the day in instances like that, where that's the only photos that they have left of their day. But it's more of like a rare thing where it's like, I only have phone photos and that's all I have of my day.
Still better quality to go with actual cameras, you would think. How about during the ceremony? And I've actually seen photographers maybe comment on this before the ceremony begins. Personally, I hate seeing someone's wedding photos of the ceremony, bride and groom up front, and the whole crowd is like doing this. Like the whole crowd has their phones out, and that's all you see is all of the guests holding up a phone or leaning in with a phone to get their pictures. Do you tell the guests like, put the phones away? I don't want that in the photos. Or have you seen like maybe even the bride tell people that?
Yes.
So, do you want me to go ahead? Or?
Yeah, let me cover this because this is one of the things
topic.
that it's.
You're like, this grinds my gears.
Yeah, this thing really bothers me. So I usually will find the officiant right before the wedding, and I'll tell them, listen, we need to tell everyone that this is a unplugged ceremony. No phones. If you want to have a picture with the couple up there at the altar, maybe have them all just take a quick photo before they begin. But right after, let them know, hey, the couple has paid thousands of dollars for professional photos to be taken. And the last thing they want is to look back at those photos and remember you holding your phone the entire ceremony and not paying attention to what's being said, what's going on in front of you. You're more, you're paying attention more to your phone than you are what's happening right in front of you.
And making the pictures not look that great.
So I can with AI now, you can actually fix that. So you can
Oh,
take,
yeah?
yes. So AI has come a long way when it comes to editing. Before, when I first started doing the wedding industry and doing photos, AI did not work. I had
Oh.
hands coming out of different places where they
Yeah. It was
shouldn't
a little
be.
crude still.
It still is like
Yeah.
it doesn't, for some reason now it doesn't know what a nose is. So
Oh.
you'll look.
It's about to take over the world, but can't tell a human nose.
Yeah, it's still in the
comforting.
process.
Joe would have something to say about that, I'm sure.
But I mean, in all actuality, you can fix a lot of the photos. Like one of the biggest thing that I see in a lot of other photographers' galleries, you'll see like fire extinguishers, exit signs, bathroom signs, stuff like that. All of that takes just a few seconds now, just with AI being able to select all that and delete it out of the picture. And most couples don't even realize that I'm giving them that. They'll just say, "Hey, this is a beautiful picture." But when they go back and look at, "Hey, where'd the sign go? Where did that go? There was a door here, and it's gone."
Oh, nice. Yeah, and dentists' brides often demand that now to sort of make sure people have their phones away and that's not in their pictures. Have you ever had like a really weird request? Like something that someone's like, could you go ahead and touch this up or make this look different? Or like anybody with their eyes closed or something that you have to fix? Is the technology there to do
Yes.
something like that?
I've had group photos where you tell everybody, "Okay, I'm gonna count down, and after one, I'm gonna take the picture," right? And I'll sit there, and you can burst shoot photos. So you can, on our camera systems that we have, you can take a photo every quarter of a second, half a second. So within the 2-3 seconds, I maybe took like 8 photos. And there's always somebody blinking. It doesn't matter. You tell them don't blink, they will blink.
Yes.
So you get to find that picture where they weren't blinking and take their eyes off of that photo and move it to the one where they have them closed.
Wow. And it's pretty seamless? Like
Yeah.
it looks pretty good?
Mhm.
Wow. That's amazing. I didn't know you could do such stuff. But I feel that with like family pictures. I've never really had like a professional family portrait. Just, here's a phone, let's take a picture. And
Mhm.
I think like my husband's incapable of keeping his eyes open at the same time as everybody else. So next time I'm just going to
There's also a way around
take
that.
some eyes. Yeah?
Yeah. So if you know that he's going to close his eyes, just do a countdown. 3, 2, don't even wait to 1. Just take the picture at 2.
Oh, that's a good idea. That's kind of like when I got married, I had a bridesmaid that was notorious for being late. She was late to everything. And I told her that we had to be at the church an hour before we actually had to be at the church. Because I'm like, I'm not risking it. You're always late.
Did it work?
It did actually.
There we
Yeah.
go.
Yeah. I think she was there like probably right on time. And the things you have to do for weddings to make
Yeah.
it go smoothly.
We're also doing that. So with all of our packages that we have on our website, we also offer like day of coordination too. So we'll sit down with the couple and we'll tell them, "Hey, how do you want your day to go? Do you want it to be rushed?" Because a lot of the weddings that we do now are just always this big process and everybody's rushing all day long. The couple has no time to relax, to dance, to just enjoy themselves, and in between all that, I get we need to have photos, but I also understand like, hey, you guys need some alone time. You guys need some time to just like take a minute and just say, "Hey, we did this today." And a lot of couples don't really integrate that in their timeline. So we'll sit down with them and we'll try to create a timeline. One of the brides that we have this year, we asked them like, "Hey, you have a lot of family coming to your ceremony. What time were you thinking of having them come to the church?" And they're like, "Well, this time here." Well, that only gives you 20 minutes, to get them all in and get ready. We're going to do it an hour before. That way everybody's in there. And then if they have to sit for 20 minutes, that's totally fine.
So
you
some wedding planning
Mhm.
along with it, really.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And I mean, there's also wedding coordinators and stuff like that that can go over that stuff too. But most times I'm usually taking control of the whole situation at
Yeah.
weddings. Like sometimes it just goes completely off the rails and you have to like step in. You're conducting when a DJ is going to play a song or when's the next big event happening at the wedding, getting the bride and groom ready for the next big event. I tell everybody like I become like super mom out there. Um,
Yeah.
it's fun.
Well, like ironing ties and jackets too. You want to?
Oh, so you do
Go
like
through
you do
that.
it all.
Yeah.
You're like, we'll go ahead and we'll just dress you all too.
Yeah, so I've been to weddings where the guy doesn't know how to tie a tie. He doesn't know how to put in a pocket square. Doesn't know how to put on the boutonniere. Nothing, and it's fine. You know, it's maybe something they don't often do, and it's something that I picked up along the way. And I'm like, I'm here. I might as well put it all together, and I know
awesome.
I'm going to be able to get a better picture because I know I did it correctly.
Yeah, you'd hate to like have your name, your brand on something that looks terrible simply because the people didn't listen to you. You know, have you ever encountered that where it's like, I would have loved your photo to be great, but you didn't want to insist everyone does this, or you didn't make everyone make sure their tie was straight. And I guess AI and editing can only go so far in that case.
It definitely can only go so far. And I tease him sometimes like, hey, we have to get you like a Symbolik Creations apron or something, I swear, because you go mom mode literally at a lot of these weddings. It's one of the funniest things. But in the moment, obviously it's not. It's very stressful and you're just like, why?
Yeah. So speaking of like having that sort of keen eye, and now that AI is everywhere, are you able to tell, like, even if it's not wedding photos, let's say you're looking at like social media posts, mainstream media posts, celebrity photos, are you able to tell if a photo is real? Do
Absolutely.
you think? You think so? Like, are you getting pretty good at spotting that's fake, that's fake? Have you seen a lot of fake on social media?
So it's still not perfected yet. You can tell when something's real, when something's fake. It's honestly, it looks too good to be true, you know, like they're too flawless, their skin's too clean. There's like a shimmer of light on them. The lighting, AI can't really create that perfect lighting like on your face. So there'll be like light here, but there'll be light shining like right on the side of your face here. How do you have so much light around you? And that also comes with experience of me being able to fix a lot of these photos with AI. So with that and looking at, you know, a real photo compared to a fake photo, it's easier for me, maybe not so much for like everybody else. And even videos now, AI videos, I mean, those are hit or miss too, but some of them are pretty good.
Some are like obviously fake. Like we can all tell, I think, when, like you said, someone's hands don't look right, or, you know, how they move isn't quite right, but it's getting better. I think there have been some where, you know, somebody could be in a uniform and it looks official, but the logo is just ever so slightly smudged or things like that. And like you said, the imperfections, most human beings have imperfections on their face and on their skin. And sometimes I think we'll see, especially on Instagram, these like flawless airbrushed girls, and we're like, oh, why don't I look like that? Well, they're not real. They're not human. Does that irk you? Would you say, being a photographer and having, I guess, having an audience that is getting increasingly more hyper aware of flaws, do you ever feel like an unrealistic pressure on yourself to make your subject look flawless, and you just want to be like, that's not real?
Just a little bit. I mean, for me, it's like I want to make sure that, you know, the bride and groom look fantastic on their wedding day. You know, I'll sit there and make sure, like, hey, you know, fix your tie a little bit, move your hair out of your face, just taking the time to make sure that when I do take a photo, I don't have to go back and, you know, edit out some hair out of somebody's face, or somebody was blinking. You want to make sure the photo's done right the first time. But then it's like, you know, hey, the bride broke out right before her wedding days, and now there's like pimples all over. I can go in there and delete a lot of that stuff too, you know, and deliver a better quality photo, and it doesn't make it look too fake. So I'll just pick out a little bit of what you can see, not all of it.
How about with video? When you've got video, is there a little editing you can do on things like that? Is that possible or not yet?
I don't think so.
That's gonna
I
be
haven't
something
found it.
when that's possible.
Mhm.
Yeah, like your video footage. You're like, hey, can we put a filter on this in the video? I wonder, we're gonna be there pretty soon.
If it comes out, that's great. You know, I would definitely like to add like better, like I've seen things where people can extend a video longer.
Mhm.
So if you get like a 5-second clip, this AI generator will extend it like 3, 5, 10 seconds out and make it longer than what it is and add more unrealistic stuff after that. But you have like your
Ah.
first 3 seconds of realistic. Like I was playing around with, so I do a lot of like meta AI photos and stuff, and I'll mess with the MLO bros a few times, you know, make like Isaac ripped and everything like that, or funny stuff. But I use that
Isaac's not really ripped, huh? You usually have to like add the muscles.
In the typos I put in add really big muscles and a, you know, chain or this and that. It'll give us goofy stuff. But there was one photo of me and her that I did, and I was like, I wonder what would happen if I told it to make us dance. Right. And it
Yeah.
started this whole thing where it's like we're just sitting there like as in the picture, and then we start moving out of nowhere, and then we start spinning around, and then her head stays perfectly straight, but her body's spinning around, and I'm like, oh, this is cursed.
The power of Christ compels you.
It's like The Exorcist.
Yeah. Such a good movie, by the way. Speaking of MLO bros, Luke says, how much skinnier can you make a person look for, say, a podcast picture asking for a friend?
Hi, Luke.
Could you like shave off a few pounds of people and make it look realistic?
Absolutely.
Oh,
Yep.
I had a girlfriend do that one time. I was with a couple of friends and we went somewhere. We were going swimming somewhere. So we're all in bathing suits and we all take a picture. And I see it on social media. She posted it later and she had cropped herself and only herself. And I was like, that is not what she looks like in real life. Like, not bad in real life, but not that in real life, and only cropped herself. But I guess that technology's come around where you can sort of edit a little bit.
Like before, you had like your tools to where you can like smush everything together, but then you can see like when you do that, there's like lines and things are all warped in the picture, and it's like, okay, we know you tried to make yourself look skinnier, but you didn't fix everything around it. So now like your let's say, for example, they took a bathroom picture and you see their sink is now like this wavy thing and their faucets like from here to there, you know, it's like that's not what it's supposed to look like. But now with AI, you can just go ahead and circle where you want something to change, and you can bring yourself down quite a bit.
Yeah, like MLO bros are always posting those AI videos. They look pretty realistic. Like they look like the people. I did see Joe made one time of he and I. And we look totally different. Like you could tell it was supposed to be us, but did not look like us. So I don't know what goes into making those things. I'm not very tech savvy, but some of them look way better than others. Is that like just the skill of the creator, or is that the format you're using, or what makes it better than others?
I think it's a little bit of both. So I think you have to have like a skill. You have to know what you're doing and typing the correct prompts.
Luke and Isaac must know what they're doing.
If you don't put in the correct prompts and you don't pay attention to the detail, you're not going to get like a quality video like you want. Like I tried doing something stupid on like making a video for us, and it came out terrible. Like I'm not there with the video creating, but as far as like photos and all that, it's right where I want it to be, at least like where it's on the borderline of like it still looks kind of real, but it's, you know, the point of it's funny, you know, that's what I want. But as far as video goes, I haven't gotten there yet, and you know, props to them for being able to make those videos because they are funny.
How do you feel? This might be like dipping a toe into the controversial.
Ooh, fun.
How do you feel about our current administration's use of social media? I feel like Trump's administration is a lot more involved with hype videos, social media posts of all different kinds.
Did you,
Have you seen?
see the video that was put up by the White House a couple days ago?
Which
I
one?
looked at her and I'm like, did you see what the White House posted? And she's like, no. I'm like, they had like two ladies with blue hair sitting in a car, like beat up car.
Oh, this sounds familiar.
And there was
Yeah.
another lady that pulls up right next to them, blonde hair, sports car, and I was like, no way they
Yeah.
just did this. And it's like, I think it was like Make America Great Again or Better or something like that. I don't know what it was, but I was like, there's no way they put a whole community
I
out
did
there
see
on
that.
blast, and then it's like they
Yeah.
nuts.
So yeah, anybody who didn't see it, you can search it up. You're
Yeah.
reminding me now. It was two sort of what you would think are stereotypical liberals is what they meant it to be, I think.
Mhm.
People with blue hair, and then they use like what they would describe as a stereotypical Trump supporter, maybe a woman in like a red convertible, and she like blows past them and leaves them in the dust and crying. And yeah, it was a little bit of like it was a jab. It was a jab for sure.
It was a definite jab.
Yeah.
I mean,
there's been a lot of jabs. Do you think, I mean, if it were reversed, do you think maybe administration should be like, let's not with the social media posts, let's just keep this more professional? Or do you think we should be utilizing that and they should be involved?
I mean, right now, I mean, it's working to their benefit. You know, they're pulling the attention. They're wanting to, you know, get the eye on them. So
Yeah.
the more controversial stuff they put on, the more posts they make, you know, that's going to get attention to them, and that's what they want at the end of the day. They just want the
Yeah.
attention and to stir up a little bit and see what we can, you know, potentially get out of this.
Yeah.
For me, I'm just different with it. I have a different opinion on it. And, you know, for us, we're not really political people, period. Like, we have our stances on certain things and other things, you know. For me, it's not just one side across the board, you know.
Mhm.
I'm human, you know, I love everybody, stuff like that. But I don't know. It's just when I initially saw the video, I'm thinking, there's no way this can't be real. And then I saw that it was on the official account, and it's like, oh my God, I couldn't believe it.
Because that's
thought it
another
was
thing
fake.
too, is like trying to figure out, did somebody actually post this from the White House,
With
or did
approval or
somebody
not?
else make this and make it look like an official post? Again, I'm pretty sure some of them are official posts. I think that they're getting,
Not surprised.
you know, more involved with it.
Oh,
But
God.
and then you've got the celebrities that speak out if they use their songs, like depending on what side of the aisle. Kesha just recently, she made a comment. I've not seen any social media videos that featured a Kesha song, but apparently there is one. I haven't seen it yet. And she wrote, "Don't use my music, perverts," or something like that, and called them all perverts and all part of the Epstein files, and said, quit using my music in it. But then again, okay, so now you've got a celebrity who's also bringing attention to it. I mean, I guess it's, do you think the only bad publicity is no publicity?
Mhm.
I've seen a lot
Or-
of people say that, where it's like, oh, all press is good press. And I mean,
You're like, is it though? Is it though?
I don't know. Me and him, we just like to stay out of a lot of stuff with politics. At the end of the day, for us, it's like, hey, social media is great. It's how we got the word out for our business. But at the end of the day, using it for like politics, stuff like that,
Yeah.
just not our scene. We don't even really, at least from what I understand, we don't really bother with politics, even on the national or global level, too much. I mostly just stick to local news because
Yeah.
there's only so much that I can take in one
I was going to say,
sitting.
it probably gives you a more peaceful day. That's for
Yeah,
sure.
definitely.
Yeah, once we like separated like you know, politics and, you know, the opinions out, you know, we're just focused on like, you know, our clients more or less. We just want to be able to live peacefully. We don't have to, like, obviously there's a million things in the world that are crazy going on right now, but we're just kind of like zoned out of it right now. We just want to be, you know, here in the moment, enjoying
Yeah.
what we have. Yeah, whenever we see something political come up, like me and her will discuss about it a little bit, but as far as that, we don't really like, You know, we're not on social media all day long talking about politics and our opinions and stuff like that. We have to separate that. At the end of the day, that can, you know, our opinion might differ from somebody else's opinion, and then that would result
Sorta,
in us not being able to get a client
yeah, it would
or a
alienate you
negative
kind of.
review, you know?
How do you feel about businesses that sort of take a strong stance on something through their business page? Like I've seen a lot of like, if you like such and such or you support so and so, I'm not the business professional for you. Do you think that's okay? Stand your ground, or is that that's pretty?
I think it's kind of like a middle ground. I mean, technically, is it still your right to do so under the First Amendment with free speech? Yes, absolutely, it is. So people that do that, by all means, if that's the way that you want to do it, no one can stop you. You run your own business. You call the shots and you play by your own rules. For us personally, we just want to help anybody that we possibly can. I don't really care what your political opinions are because that's not what I'm here for.
Right.
You're here because we are a contracted professional through you. You want us for the work that we do, not for somebody's like, you know, personal opinions and thoughts. And even at the end of the day, does that really matter too much? Because we're there for a specific service, for a specific thing. We're here to help you with that. And pretty much that's it. So
would you feel that same way when it comes to like celebrities that get sort of vocal about different stances? Would you kind of say the same thing? Like, hey, can you just entertain us? Can you just make music and have something fun? Or I feel like there's a divide with, yes, use your platform and bring awareness to these topics. And then other people are like, okay, we're political fatigue. I just want the entertainment industry to deliver entertainment.
Yeah. I mean, for me, like I have like different artists that I like listening to, and you know, when they play their music, you know, and it's just about them and their whole lore, you know, that's what I like, you know, to listen to and just appreciate that. But when they start getting political and it's like they want this cause, that cause, that's great and fine, but you're also kind of shooting yourself in the foot because maybe half of your crowd or, you know, listeners that, you know, were listening to you aren't going to listen to you now because your opinion differs from theirs. And I mean, I've seen that happen a bunch of times. And some artists come out and say, you know, hey, if you don't support what I believe, you weren't really a fan anyways. Well, it's like, okay, that's even better now. You're just, you know, more bullets, you know?
Yeah. And I gotta admit, like I'm kind of like you. I try to give people the benefit of the doubt. I try to not let things bother me. I like to stay kind of middle ground, and I'm not really strongly to either side. But it is very difficult to ignore if an artist or a celebrity is loud about something and they make those sort of harsh statements like, don't buy my tickets, or don't listen to my music, or don't come see my show if you yada, yada, yada. And then you're kind of like, oh, that put such a bad taste in my mouth now. Now, anytime you hear about that artist or that celebrity, you're kind of like, you know, would you say it does actually kind of taint your view of them sometimes, even if you don't want it to. And I wonder if they're going to regret that in the long run.
They might. I mean, yeah, they've already made their money.
That's true.
How I see it, you know, we have the listening time invested. We had all this money invested into supporting that artist, and then after, you know, it's all said and done, they had their opinion, and we differ from it. Then it's like, you know, we were along for the ride, and now it's like you said, a bad taste in your mouth. You just don't want to. You don't want to think about it at the end of the day.
Have you ever seen I guess you could say a fight breakout at a wedding you've done based off of any kind of, I mean, it doesn't have to be political arguments, just anything. Have you ever seen like a scuffle?
Fight? Yeah, we did have a fight out.
we did?
It was all alcohol related.
Oh, imagine that.
Yeah. We had a couple that we were, you know, doing photo and video for out in Erie, and one of the what was he, like a bridesmaid or a groomsman? I don't remember what side he was on.
He was one of the like attendants.
Yeah. So he got enough alcohol in his system to where he was going at it all night long with this one lady.
I remember this now. He was related to the bride, from what I remember. And then, alcohol gets mixed in with the whole day. And, past a certain point, when you start obviously drinking, cool, fine, you're having a good time. And then, so many beers and cocktails deep, it's like, oh crap, this isn't going very well. So he ended up fighting, I think, with one of the other bridesmaids that was on the groom's side, if I remember correctly.
She was just a guest.
Oh, she was just a guest.
Yeah, she was just a guest at the wedding, and they just happened to bump into each other in the dance floor, and that's what started the argument.
Yeah, and both of them were pretty deep in alcohol.
So
that's when you have to like cut camera.
Yeah, I feel like that can kind of ruin pictures too. Have you ever noticed? And like, this isn't even something I've noticed. It's an actual thing, but when you have alcohol, the muscles in your face relax. And they've done like studies of what somebody looks like and then what somebody looks like after so many drinks. Your face kind of melts. Have you ever felt the need to like tell a bridal party, by the way, if you all start drinking before photos, you're not going to look your best?
I haven't told anybody that yet.
Yeah.
Some of those photos actually turn out pretty funny, and they're like pretty good.
Maybe loosen up a little bit. Yeah, maybe they're a little less awkward if they have it.
Yeah, so it's like some people just they didn't have an expression all day, or they just had like a half smile. But as soon as they got the alcohol in their system and they're out on the dance floor, they're smiling, they're laughing. That's the perfect time to capture like a candid moment right there. And then
you're like, go
ahead
and have a drink because this is getting to be a little too dry. Yeah, I could see that. I've been in weddings where, the bridal party started kind of beforehand because of nerves or whatever, and let's be real, probably wouldn't have been as good if there wasn't before. Not that I'm promoting drinking because the internet's going to accuse me of that, but yeah. So what else have you guys seen that's interesting or grind your gears?
In what sense interesting? This can go several different directions.
Oh boy.
I know you, like I said, you usually interact with our show. Any past topics that you were passionate about that you're like, oh, if I were there?
That one day that we were, that you guys were talking about, like,
Joe and I?
Yeah. I forget, was it like the middle class or having like a small business? I forget exactly what the topic was, but
government grants or something like that, or
no, it was just like, I wish I could have watched the video last night just to bring it up.
And do your homework.
No, I didn't.
That's what we do here. This whole show is on the fly, and I think people need to appreciate that more. This isn't scripted. We have nothing pre-planned.
No.
Yeah, we literally show up and we hit play and we go live, and whatever happens, happens. So that's the most exciting thing. It's like live talk show.
Yeah.
I wonder if it was you were talking about middle class disappearing. Or
no, I think it was just like I want to say it was more on the small business side, like people have better opportunities than others, and it depends on like if you had that money beforehand or it was passed down to you. I believe it was like a topic like that, and for me, starting this business here, I didn't have a lot of money to start this. I went to a camera store one day, looked at a camera, saw what my options were. It's either I spend all my money or I spend a little bit of the money and work my way up. Spent a little bit of money, started doing a lot of free stuff, getting my name out there, started interacting with other professionals and being able to work side by side with them, and then worked my way up from there to where I'm at now. And, I didn't have a lot to start with this. This was, all self-funded, and it was literally like a 4 or 5 year journey of getting to this point.
How difficult would you say when there's some people that, they maybe they want to be doing more with their lives, or they want to be making more, and they're like, well, I could never start a business though. How difficult would you say it actually is to start your own business, be your own boss? Is it quite different from other jobs you've had in the past where you were like, hey, this comes with a whole lot more than I thought of or expected?
Yes. And honestly, without her help, it sucks. You have to constantly be on your phone. You have to constantly be able to post content on a daily basis, being able to reach out to people constantly. it's a 24-hour process. You know, if you want to make this your career and you want this to grow, you're going to have to invest all your time and efforts into this, compared to like a 9 to 5 where you clock in at 9 and your worries are done after 5 o'clock. Maybe throughout the night you'll think, oh, you know, maybe I have to do this at work tomorrow, you know, but that's just like a little thought that just comes up in your head and it's gone the rest of the night. You know, you just go back to playing video games, watching a movie, whatever. This is a constant 24-hour. Your mind is always on what's next, what's the biggest thing, what are we going to put up. So it is difficult.
Yeah.
It's always been difficult, but I mean, you invest the time and money into it, it will grow.
Yeah, totally different, I would think, being an employee versus a business owner, being somebody
Oh,
that
for sure.
this is our livelihood. This is what we do. Like you said, 24/7 worrying about it, checking on things, planning. Whereas someone else is like, hey, why don't you just hire me to come help you? And when this event is done, I am out of here. What did you guys do before Symbolik Creations?
So I've done a lot of things. I when fresh out of high school, I was a bridge painter.
A
and
bridge painter?
yeah,
Oh,
it's
wow.
big around here.
Is that dangerous?
Yeah.
Yes.
That sounds dangerous.
I got to travel all over America, painting bridges, seeing all these new places. I've been to Washington, Louisiana, Texas, Florida.
Wow.
I still do a little bit of it on the side, but it's not to where I've invested my full time there. That job was 24/7. You're out on the road. You maybe get holidays off to go back home, but usually you're states and states away, and you're living out of a suitcase your whole life. I went from doing that to where it was like, okay, I'm home now. I like being home. What can I do? What am I good at? You know, to where I can start something here, and instead of having to travel all the time and not being able to have a life, more or less.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my story a little bit. You?
Well, for me, once I was out of high school in 2016, I went to YSU for 4 years. I got a bachelor's degree in graphic and interactive design.
Wow.
So I work as a professional graphic designer. I do marketing. I still do have a full-time job that I do, but I work remote from home. Or sometimes
Okay.
I'll get called out to travel a little bit, but that's the full-time job, obviously, to help, pay the bills, insurance. Got to love all that. So
yeah.
I still do that every single day, and I still devote a lot of time to it. But when I'm not doing that, and the weekends is obviously for us and the gig that we do. And another way we can kind of help divvy that up a little bit. He does a lot of the actual photo and video editing and a lot of obviously the shooting the day of. For me, I kind of work a little bit more on the back end of things. So the person who receives all the payments for the weddings, we actually just got stuff earlier this morning, with correspondences with brides that we already had booked. So I'm talking with them a lot. Hey, letting you know X amount of money is due by this date.
Oh, you have the fun job.
Doing all the contracts, all the fun legal stuff.
Yeah.
So making sure that both we are covered for that day and the bride is obviously covered as well, and the groom. So doing a lot of that, and then obviously a lot of the pre-booking stuff. So doing like your sales pitch, things like that. Making sure that we're the right fit for these people as well, because we're not for everybody flat out. We want to be, but it doesn't mean that we're always going to have them. So like, for example, budget, some people want to do a whole wedding with their photos for like $1,000 and under.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, for us, that's not really in our demographic, unfortunately. We do payment plans, for example, for our packages. So like we start right around $2,000. Sometimes for our bridal shows that we go to, we'll host like specials and stuff with X amount of money off any package, photo, video, or a combo. And what we do with that is, you get X amount of money off. So it puts you under the base package amount of money that we do. And that does help out brides a lot. They really do appreciate stuff like that. And I don't hound or chase people either for money. It's hard times. So I just tell them, as long as you're paid up either on or before the date of your wedding, hey, you are fine in my books. I'm not going to hunt you down.
What happens if they're not? What if it's like day of the wedding, can't reach them, haven't paid? Do you go? Do you go shoot the wedding?
You can ask him that.
She'll look at me every way.
She's like, I need the muscle
for this. Yeah, and she's on me about it. There's been a few times where the bride hasn't paid up on her wedding date, and it's like the biggest thing for me is I don't want to go up to you on your wedding day and ask you for a paycheck or ask you for a payment. You know, like it's like your most important day, and you know that's like the fork that was dropped, you know, in the loud restaurant and everybody went silent. You know, that's that feeling to me.
Yeah. But at the same
but
time,
we still show up.
Pay you, yeah.
We still show up. I mean, regardless, they have a contract with us, so whether they paid or not, there's a contract in there in writing. We're gonna show up to your wedding day, but you can't get any of your stuff until you're paid up.
Yeah,
you know,
oh yeah, that's good.
Gonna have to.
Have you ever had to do that?
Yep.
Like you'll get your pictures when we get our money.
Pretty much, yeah.
Oh, hopefully not often, right?
No.
Oh, that's good.
No, once or twice.
Yeah.
But
so as someone who, like you said, used to work all over the country and travel a lot, how was it trying to start a small business in the Youngstown area? Was this ideal? Did you want this? Or is it just any pushbacks, anything that you've seen? Or would you say, you know, because you hear a lot, unfortunately, you hear a lot of people say, oh, you got to leave Youngstown to do anything. I got to leave Youngstown to actually work. No. Is that, you would say that's pretty false?
For me, like I used to live down in Georgia near the Atlanta area.
Me too.
And I loved it down there. I lived in a city called Dallas, Georgia.
Okay.
So everybody's like, oh, you're from Dallas. Yeah, not Texas, Georgia. I think it's a little bit nicer, a lot more quieter. But it was nice down there, but there's a lot more customers down there. If I was to open a business, the same business down there compared to up here, would it prosper more? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. I'm here. And I wanted to give it a shot regardless. I was like, well, I want something that's, you know, made by me. And I want to be able to reach out to people around here. And I didn't know how big the market was until I really jumped into it. This area, I mean, Youngstown alone is probably the biggest area, I want to say, in Ohio that has so many photographers just in this small area.
Oh, yeah?
This area is flooded with photographers.
I didn't know that.
Everybody's got a camera. Everybody is a different type of photographer, nature photographer, wedding photographer,
real estate.
You got senior photos, all of it.
Yeah.
This area just has so many of them. Try putting a post out, pretend you're somebody else looking for a photographer. Within 10 minutes, you'll have about over 40 or 50 comments.
Yep.
This person, that person.
Do you know, coincidentally, I'm not even making this up. I was out of town for a week, came back earlier this week, and I have a business card on my desk. And I said, what is this? And it's something photography. And like a customer who came in for some computer help was like, by the way, I'm a photographer if you need any photography. It's like, oh, okay. So they really are everywhere, apparently.
Mm-hmm. I didn't know how many there were until I, again, got into the whole thing. And then it's like, this is crazy that just this area here has so many photographers.
Wow.
And one of the things that it's not that we struggle with, but we want more local brides, grooms. We want everybody like locally to hear. And a lot of the time I see people hiring out of this area. So they'll hire a photographer from Cleveland or Columbus or even out of state. And it's like, we're right here. We're right down the road.
Why is that? Do you think they think it's better for some reason, or?
I don't know. I don't know if there was just, again, the whole thing with like, scammers and this and that. We had some people in this area here that scammed a lot of couples out of some money.
Oh, wow.
But, that's not us. We don't want to be that way, and we don't want to have like that negative mark on the community here.
Yeah.
I would like to keep all photo and anything in this area, stay in this area, not just to hire out from somebody, unless it's like you're looking for that certain style, or there was a budget range that just couldn't be met over here. Somebody new starting out and they just went and underbidded everything. That's something that I see a lot of. Like, we had somebody reach out to us for video, and we were at like over 1,000, but this guy from Georgia is going to do it for under 500, which is nuts because Georgia, at least for me, was like a 12-hour drive, and you're
Yeah.
paying for that whole drive,
Yeah.
the whole time you're going to be at that wedding, the whole drive back, plus your editing.
So he's like, oh, under 500 for this, but we're also going to tack on some other stuff. Or was it under 500 everything?
I think it was under 500 everything.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, people will do a lot just to get the experience. I mean, there was stuff that, we even did for free just to get the experience, kind of build a portfolio. A lot of people will do that just so then they can have something to show off to a couple that would be interested later on. Like, hey, if you like my work, this is what I have. Because you don't want to just go, and a lot of people do this too, go to a camera store, pick up a camera. I'm a wedding photographer now.
Yeah. Yeah. I have an
and,
iPhone. I'm a wedding photographer now.
Yeah. There's people that, going back to phones, there's content creation now. So you'll have a content creator at a wedding, and they'll have a little gimbal in their cell phone, and they'll just make little highlight videos for you throughout the day. That's a thing.
Mm-hmm. Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
I don't do it. I rather go there with the camera and be able to give you a better resolution.
Yeah.
And it looks a lot nicer. But, again, it comes down to budget too.
Do you guys do a lot for your own social media when you're out at events? Do you have to like ask the bride, hey, can I actually film some of this and promote it on my social media? Do you do a lot of that? Or is it pretty much just like, as far as self-promotion goes?
When it's like us two, we're so like head first into this wedding where we forget about it. Like, at the beginning of the day, we're setting up, getting the cameras out, getting everything all put together. I'll do like a quick video on Facebook and put it to my story. Hey, we're at this event, this wedding day. Just like a 10-second clip, just for something, and that usually gets a little bit of drive on Facebook, but I don't
Maybe do
self-promote.
Like a day in the life of a wedding photographer, and then one of you like just sort of films the other we and getting ready and setting up and shooting. And
we're gonna have to get you a safety helmet with a GoPro.
I was gonna say a GoPro. We were using it. We put a GoPro on my kid one time when she was a toddler. We put it right here and just let her run around. It's hilarious. You could totally do that.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be some funny content. You're welcome. Free idea.
There you go.
I'm not opposed to it if it helps get some traction. Hey, by all means, that's fine.
I've been, wanting to do a lot more with that too. Like, I want to go out there and show people like, hey, this is what we do on a regular basis out here at a wedding. They'll see the photos. They're like, wow, how'd you do it? And it's like, well, shoot, I can't really show you how I did it because it's already done. I'm going to have to like record something here and there. Yeah, it might be an idea for later on.
That might be interesting. That would be cool. Any cool other Youngstown vendors that you guys have worked with at events, whether it's like food or anything else that you're like, wow, there's some really great vendors in this area?
Well, I mean, hey, we could easily plug Nick. We've actually seen Nick at a couple of the bridal shows, for example. So,
oh yeah, DJ Nick.
Yes, DJ
Nick. DJ Nick Danier.
Yes, we do bridal shows, obviously, in the area. We just got done with 2 last week. So one was at the Apollo down here in Youngstown, and then the other one was at the Saxon Club.
Okay.
They were both around like late February-ish, but they basically went around the same time period. So one was around like 12 to 2, then the other one was like 2:30 to 4, something like that. So it's only 2 hours to where you can go see all these vendors that are local.
Yeah.
And, you want to make a day out of it. You want to make it fun. So what we did was we actually had booths at both shows, and we just did like a divide and conquer kind of thing. So we basically told a bunch of the brides that came to the first show, hey, if you're still looking for more vendors and stuff, come to this other show that's, going on from like 2 to 4 o'clock, you can, come see us again if you want to talk more in depth. Or there's a bunch of different vendors there that are all local. And then you can, hire local. You can hire small businesses and stuff there.
Yeah.
So it's always great getting to chat it up with Nick a little bit. We have a couple other DJ friends. One from Michaela. She does MC Square DJ services. She's great. We partner with her for photo and video services as well. So if people want basically a combo deal, so photo, video, and DJ all wrapped up in one, you can get us both for the same day. So that's a nice way to do it too. We like to, plug the people that we work with because, they deserve local work and stuff too. And it's a trade-off.
Keep it local, keep the money local.
That's right.
Why hire someone from out of state that you're going to pay an arm and a leg to get them to travel when you've got the talent here?
Exactly.
And it helps when you've worked with them too. There's times where we're just, we're only the photographer or only the videographer for a wedding, but the couple picked somebody else for a photo or video. I had one where I was just video, and, again, with working with people, how it goes, how you work with this person, that person, how they operate throughout the day. I was at a wedding, photographer doesn't know how I work. Tried going over everything with them. She ended up ruining their ceremony video because she was in front of the camera the entire time.
Oh,
and
no.
I had no eyes on that camera because when I do video, I'm not only recording the whole ceremony from far away at an elevated position, but I'm also in the crowd too, capturing other angles of video as well. So the main video is just her in her backpack and looking at the camera. And I'm like, I got to sit down and talk to the couple with this because this is not good.
Wow.
Again, this is like knowing how to work with other people.
Yeah. And sort of even for that person being self-aware to know, hey, I am in the middle of a very major event that's probably being recorded or photographed. Maybe I should, because if she had turned, wouldn't she see she's in direct line of a camera?
She stared right at the camera.
And
she knew.
Smiled.
Yep.
You don't think it was on purpose, do you?
She stared right at it. It's impossible to,
Maybe she was like, I'm sure this
90%
camera's
sure.
not important right now. We're not on. Like,
I had a 30-minute conversation with this photographer before the ceremony started.
Yeah.
And I even had markers down on the ground. Couldn't miss it.
do you think it was on purpose?
Yes.
she wasn't there.
Again,
But yes.
I'm like 90% sure. I'm sorry, but
Like, was just sort of, I'm going to go ahead and sabotage this.
I don't know about sabotage, but like photos and videos are both equally important in my opinion. There's not one that's inferior to the other. Obviously, you hired for both services, so they're equally important to the bride and groom. That's what matters. You can't just go through the day assuming that, oh, well, my photos are more important than someone else's video. That's not really fair to assume.
Yeah.
Again, they hired for two separate services. They're clearly important for both.
At the end of the day, you have to realize, like, we're all there working for the bride and groom, whether you like us, you don't like us, or you feel like your work is more important than our work. Doesn't matter. We're all there to provide a service for those people that want us there.
Yeah. You don't want to feel like you're in direct competition with the other vendors. It's more supporting this, not competing with each other.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we've been to a few of those where we've gotten the cold shoulder from the other vendors, and I'm like, oh, okay, well, hey, we're still here. We're gonna party over here. So if you want to come join our party bus, come over here.
So it's a little catty in the wedding business.
A little bit.
Who would have
Sometimes,
thought that? Yeah. Have you ever had like a bridezilla or somebody that was really difficult to work with? You don't have to say who.
No, that's fine. Right off the rip, sometimes someone might appear to be a little bit of a bridezilla, but that's not always the case. So everybody that we've worked with, especially towards like the end of the day, after the nerves are all out, after the ceremony, they turn into absolute sweethearts. And especially when you show them like the photos right after, it's like, oh my God, it looks so pretty. I
They're
love
like, oh,
it.
good,
It looks
it's
wonderful.
coming together.
After that, the nerves are gone and it's like, okay, she's good. She's calm. The ceremony's done. Now it's time to, get her partying for the reception. So they might come off that way, but that doesn't mean that they are.
Yeah, it's probably
So,
the stress.
we've
the
been
stress
lucky
of the
so far.
day.
Yeah, but
Good.
we've had it to where, you know, sometimes it was even our mess up too. One of the weddings that we did, we had
Oh,
a
Lord.
drone operator.
Oh, no.
no.
We were at this newer venue. We've never been to it before. It's I forget where it was, but local around here. They had a zip line right over the water, and we're trying to get some aerial shots of the water because the pond was like the shape of a heart. And we're
Oh,
like, you know, this
Yeah, it
is
was
cool.
cute.
Let's get a nice video of this. And I'm doing video inside this barn, you know, just taking pictures and videos of all the decor and everything, trying to get those detail shots is what we call them. My drone operator comes in. He's like, "Okay, we're done." Oh, you finished already?
you're like, no way, you're done.
Yeah, because it was like 30 minutes, and I was like, there's no way. I know how you operate. There's no way you're done in 30 minutes. He's like, no, drone's in the water. I'm like,
Yeah.
well, you better go get your fishing shoes there.
Oh,
There's no way you just
wow.
drop this in the water, and we're scrambling. We're, you know, looking at this. The couple wanted us just, you know, photo and video, but they wanted drone 100%.
That was like
Yeah,
what
that
and I
they
was like,
That was a
hired
breaking
you
point.
for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And trying to find a drone right now is next to impossible.
Because they're so popular.
They're popular. The import ban and stuff like that, to where you can't have certain drones. DJI is like one of those big ones that got hit to where they don't want them coming into America anymore.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, like there's one that I've been trying to get my hands on, and it's taking a while just to try to get one. There's people that have been waiting months just trying to get it. Sometimes you have to get it imported from like a different country, and it still has to go through import. It's nuts.
Yeah.
There's also American drones here too, but the popular ones is like DJI. You want DJI everything, and it's hard to get drone, gimbal, anything really. But looking around when that happened, there wasn't one on Facebook. There wasn't one in any store nearby. We're like scrambling. We
Oh man. So you didn't get to fish it out of the
no,
pond?
we did.
You did.
Yeah.
We made them.
Yeah.
Did it work still?
No.
I didn't.
No, it was done. But we had somebody local around here that was able to lend us a drone for the day, and I was just ecstatic about it. I was like, perfect. We have coverage
Yeah.
now. We have the drone. We're back in the air. And I looked at him like,
So
don't do it again.
I'm assuming then, and I don't know how drones work, so this might be a dumb question. While it's flying and you're recording, is all that information you just shot on the drone itself, or is it feeding back to anything that you could have saved some of the content?
Oh, so it saves on an SD card, but there's also like, okay, the one that he had a screen there. So you can watch where you're going. It's not like you're watching from far away and you're just hoping that you get a good shot. There's an actual screen.
You see everything.
And you see the live video. And you didn't see this giant cord. And I was like, oh no.
Yeah.
And I thought about adding, because you see when it hits and it spins and it goes into the water.
Yeah.
I thought about
But
adding
all that footage he had before the crash was gone then?
No,
It's
no.
not.
All good.
Okay, I was gonna say I would hope that it's sort of like recording on something other than the drone itself.
Footage was fine. Yeah.
Oh, that's good. Well,
Yeah,
that's good.
The video came out really nice at the end of the day, so I was totally happy with that. It's just one of those things that you just don't see coming, and it's like you have to be prepared for it. Now, after that moment, we are well prepared. We have backups of everything now.
So being the small business owner that just lost a pricey piece of equipment, is that something you can write off? Is that just a loss you take? Or, you know, if someone's like, hey, I want to be a small business owner, here's a perfect idea of something that could go wrong that costs you money.
If you have like a warranty, which is what we had for that, it's not going to cost us like an arm and a leg, maybe a couple $100, you know, because a drone of that, like the one that we had,
cost thousands.
Like well over $3,000 just for something like that. To lose something like that to anybody is, you know, it can tear a business apart.
Yeah.
So if you have like your warranties, you're able to cover yourself. Even if you get just like basic insurance, which, most businesses should have like an insurance policy when they go out to these weddings and stuff. You should at least be covered for your equipment. So if in whatever happens to your equipment, at least it's covered and you can regain that money or even get a new piece of equipment or a used piece of equipment that was similar to what you just lost.
Awesome. Well, yeah. And if anyone has questions for these two, by all means, feel free. They're a little quiet today because they're used to fighting and we're being nice today. But feel free to ask questions for these guys, anything you think of. What else? What else do you love about our show and everything? I know we've interacted before. I'm trying to think of some of the things we were passionate about.
Well, one of the hot takes, at least for us, would be discussing how to vet your vendors properly for your wedding day. What do you think?
Yeah. So again, going back to, picking the right vendor for you and meeting with your vendor in person, trying to avoid like the scams and whatnot of what you see online. You want to go out there and, meet everybody.
Mhm.
What do you think?
Another big thing, and this has been a red flag, what I notice, it's not in every case scenario, but it is in a lot of them, to where you have to register your business with the Secretary of State. So what we had to do was we had to file, obviously, with the state of Ohio for our business being an LLC. So you have to pay a fee for that. It's only one time, but, you need to have something kind of back in your name a little bit. It's
Yeah.
a little different if you're like a new photographer, you're kind of feeling things out a little bit, seeing, okay, is this the exact thing that I want to do? Do I want to invest heavily in this? I understand, wanting to do that, but at a certain point, you got to register with the Secretary of State. If you don't, then it's, at least in my eyes, it's a bit of a red flag.
Yeah.
So it's not,
So there's
it's dicey, but
some things you can take, some precautions you can look into to make sure someone's legit.
Yes,
not
but you
just
have to know what to look for, and you don't know either until it happens to you personally or you hear some kind of horror story about it.
Yeah, because honestly, I don't think I would have thought to even check that. Like, I don't even think
Mhm.
I would have known that you guys had to register.
And it's that world that we're living in now where it's sad that you have to, you have
Yeah.
to do research on, on your vendors now. You need to know, what you're getting into. I could tell you, I brought some equipment in today, and I could show you, hey, this is my camera. It's this and this lens here. And she has a different camera, right? And I put both of them in front of you, and you're going to say, well, that's a camera and that's a camera. You don't know what they're bringing out there. You're going to have to go and do research now on camera equipment and know what your photographer has and what your videographer has. I don't know what the difference between a mix table is and some different speakers. To me, it's a DJ. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I just, it sucks that it's that type of way now where you have to go and do all this research on your vendors now just so then you get a quality product for your wedding.
Well, and how about protecting your product? Like we've talked about before online, you can get scammed because people can steal pictures. There's like fake social media accounts, fake businesses, even just anyone's normal Facebook page can look sort of duplicated. What do you do if like you see there's another page and they have all these photos and it's your work and your photos?
So a good way to make sure that the work is actually the photographer's work, you request what's called a full gallery. So the way that works is obviously a wedding day will have hundreds, if not thousands of photos. What we do is we actually keep all the old RAW files that we don't edit. So there's RAW files and there's JPEGs. The JPEGs are the ones, obviously, they're nice, clean, polished. Those are the ones that end up online. We post basically like the highlights of the wedding day and a lot of the individual couple session of the bride and groom on the day of the wedding. That's what ends up on the website. That's what ends up on social media 9 times out of 10. But if you're not sure that the work is theirs, you request the full gallery to where you could see the entire wedding day on like the photographer's hard drive. They could maybe share it with you personally, or you can like request, hey, let's video call, guide me through your work. And if they can't provide a full gallery to you, well, that's red flag number one, at least in my opinion.
There's another way too. You can screenshot like a photo now and you can put it into a Google image search. And if it doesn't pop up with that same photographer on there, it will list like other photographers. Cause I've seen it to where there's one photo I saw of a couple, and they were just like in this archway, and it looked like a cathedral they're in, and it was outside the cathedral in an archway, and it pretty picture. But I was like, this doesn't look like this person's work, like their work is pretty much everywhere. You look at their website and they have 1,000 different styles. Like normally when you look at somebody's work, it's going to be all the same style or just a little bit of variation. But you can just easily just grab that image, throw it on Google, and you can see if it belongs to them or not now.
So speaking of fake photos, this is totally off the wedding subject, but
that's fine.
This is something I'm really interested in. And I don't know if you've ever seen too, like Emmanuel Bros and Joe, sometimes for a little while they were into ghost hunting and just kind of going and trying to get images and different content based off of some place that's supposedly haunted or whatever. Are you able to look at images that people gathered, like doing things like that and know how it was created or what maybe they did to try to make something look like they captured something or are you like, I don't know, it looks legit to me. Is there any way people could be like, that's not real, I can tell they did this with this? Or
you know what, actually I did something, it was stupid. Absolutely stupid. When they had the auroras here last year, and you were watching like everybody take these pictures of green and pink skies and all
the
that.
northern lights and everything.
Yeah, so I went and I grabbed the picture right off of Google, and what I did was everybody was like making goofy stuff. They were putting like different things in there, like, oh, look at this picture, I think there's like a sign in there, and it's like something goofy in the background. And I was like, here's my picture. I think the auroras are trying to tell me something. And I accidentally, not accidentally, I put
You're like
picture,
accidentally on purpose.
Yeah, accidentally on purpose, put Tim Misney's face in the background. It was stupid. But it highlighted like green and pink, so it kind of like blends in there, and everybody's like hearting it and stuff. Like, you guys don't see his face in there?
There's people that are like, oh my God, I totally see it. Yeah. It happened. Yeah. So, I mean, you never know. Like, I mean, we've said before with AI and with everything you can do, like, how do you know like what photo is real and what's not? And have you ever captured like a really amazing shot of something that you weren't even expecting? And like, I don't know, can you copyright something like that, I guess? Or I don't even know how that would work. If you got something, you're like, all right, anybody that steals this from me, they're going to pay.
Well, you can copyright your stuff. You can obviously put a watermark on there, but truthfully now, like I was saying earlier, you can literally go and just steal whatever you want online.
Yeah.
You can trace it back to the original person, and it can become a whole legality deal there. But I mean, once you put a picture out there online, it's everywhere.
Yeah.
It's literally everywhere. And there's not much you can really do to stop it from getting taken by somebody else.
Any fear that AI will just sort of totally take over and then we don't even need a photographer? Like, could AI eventually just, you put in there like, hey, here's pictures of my bridal party, here's what we'll be wearing and where we'll be, go at it, and it could just create photos.
I've seen people do stuff like that when they were trying to figure out, like, there's some brides that are like, well, I want to know what my bridal party is going to look like in these types of dresses and these types of shirts. And you'll see like a whole group of people in, same suits, same dresses, and you can go in there and even put faces on there if you wanted to, just to give you an idea.
And even thought of that, like, just kind of getting a mock-up of what people might look like.
That's a lot of work.
Is that something you guys could provide or do if someone's like, can I see a mock-up of something just to see how I want it to go? Or
probably not personally. And the way that I kind of see it, I don't see, at least with what we do, AI kind of just 100% taking over, because at the end of the day, you're going to know. Obviously, there's no one there to take your pictures on the wedding day. You're going to know that, hey, I don't have any real photos to pass down to my kids. Yeah. I don't have a video or anything that I can even watch. So even though it's not something that you hire for, at the end of the day, if you don't actually hire a professional to do it, I feel like there would probably be some regret there. And then it's not going to feel real if you have something mocked up through AI. Yeah. You're going to know it's not real.
Although nowadays people all over Facebook are using AI generated professional headshots and AI generated caricatures. And is that something?
She did the caricature for us, and I
I
was
did
like,
it one time.
I
for
did it
fun,
too.
and that
I
was
did
it.
it too.
I never posted it though.
I didn't like how I came out. I was like, why is my head so much bigger than the rest of my body? Like, I get that's the idea of it, but it's like,
Yeah.
I don't want this online. I look goofy.
This is like the Chat GPT phase. Oh yeah, I
Mhm.
did it. I did it too. I got a little addicted to it. In fact, I did a couple, and then I didn't know it was like a temporary freebie. And then it's like, oh, you have to download the whatever. But I mean, I got one that looked weird, and then I said, could you make this a little more realistic? And then they altered it, and I don't know. Is that something that sort of threatens a professional photographer? Is the use of AI and being able to kind of get professional photos that look real?
I don't think it's there yet.
No, I
No?
don't think so
Mm-mm.
either.
It's the tools are there to help you, but it's not in that realm yet to where it can completely take over the photo industry. At least from what I see so far, you're gonna still need a professional photographer. Even if you don't get a professional photographer, you get somebody with a phone, and you can touch up stuff with AI. That's fine too. If you want to
Yeah.
go on something on a budget line, but as far as completely taking over, I don't think so.
You still need to give it a baseline to kind of run off of. Just creating something out of thin air, it can't really, at least from what I've seen, it doesn't really seem to be able to do that. You have to be able to coach it and guide it the particular way that you want. And if it has no baseline, it has nothing to run off of. So if you don't give
Yeah.
it that, then
Have you ever seen anything like in mainstream news that you were like, I think that's fake, and everybody is kind of passing this off as real? I feel like we don't even know what to believe anymore. Or any photo that people really believed was real, and you were like, come on, look at the
Like the
graininess.
whole Jim Carrey thing.
Did you see the Jim Carrey photo?
Yeah.
Listen, I think it's Jim Carrey. I think it's Jim Carrey with something done.
I don't think so. I saw a post, and again, I don't know if it's real or not, but it was like one of his makeup artists that just decided to put on like a fake mask and the makeup and the teeth, and it just showed up. And then you look at the history of him.
There he
Yeah.
is.
You look at the history
Yeah.
of him going to that show. He has never gone to that show up until this one time now. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, there are some people have been saying that there was like a particular award show. He, for whatever reason, Jim Carrey either wasn't able to go or didn't want to go, and somebody went in his place with prosthetics on. I don't know. And even that photo that BJ put up, that looks similar to what we've been seeing. There's another photo out there too. There's a video interview of him, which is where people say his voice was even different. Do you think that was somebody else?
I think it was somebody else.
You do?
Yeah, I really do.
His rep, I just saw yesterday, a representative spoke and said, this is ridiculous. It was Jim Carrey. He's fine. I even wondered too, like, I don't know, was he suffering an allergy and he just looked a little puffier or something that day? I don't know.
Yeah, they're saying, things with like, oh, well, the plastic surgeries and this and that. It's like, you can only change so much. I understand that, it can really alter you, but not to that point.
Especially, they talked about the timeline. Like, he was just seen on TV looking normal, and now he is seen here looking very not normal. And had he had any work done other than injections, and that was my thing, is I'm like, you could do some filler, you can inject something and look very different in a short amount of time and not have healing or scarring or redness or anything. I don't know though. Do you think people in real life, like if it were somebody with a prosthetic on, don't you think they could see makeup, seams, something?
I mean,
unless they're like flawless with it, I guess.
Yeah, so like in like the movie industry, I mean, there's makeup artists that can create just about anything anymore. It's nuts looking at like the background of how everything's done. I've watched a lot of videos online, just showing how detailed all these makeup artists are to do different things to people's faces. Like my one friend that does our drone work, his sister was one of the zombies in The Walking Dead.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I was watching videos of how they were able to like make them look the way they do, and blood and stuff like that, and teeth, and it's nuts what they can come up with now.
I mean, have you ever seen Heidi Klum's Halloween costumes? Every year she gets, prosthetics. A whole team does all kinds of stuff with her. You would never know it was her. And I mean, sometimes they're gruesome. They're obviously not real, but I could see people pulling it off. When the Jim Carrey thing came up and everybody started analyzing if he had been replaced, we started seeing more videos now of Joe Biden and people having conspiracy theories that certain speeches or certain public appearances by him were not actually him. Have you ever seen any of those?
Yeah, I remember seeing like a video or two online where, like the one day he's on there and it's like he just looks old and just, like he just doesn't look like himself, like just tired out. And then he had another one where it's like he's like 20 years younger and he's more lively and more awake, like he had his Red Bull in the morning. It's like,
it's like,
are these really the same two people?
Yeah, you're walking taller, you're moving better, your speech is more clear, you're not hunched over so much, and it's in like the span of a week or two.
And I feel like it's just all media driven. Like, it's whatever we're supposed to see, not really like the whole truth.
Do you think they would like replace it or replace someone or just make it look a certain way?
The way that I see it, for me, it's just like, okay, media is absolutely just insane no matter what way you look at it. I just go every day with thinking, all right, we just live in the Matrix. I'm just done.
Who knows what's real anymore?
Live my life, have our business, make people happy, eventually have kids. We get married next year and let's just live our lives and do that. Anything else is kind of just out of our control.
Yeah, Joe and I talk about that a lot. Like, if you could know all the truth behind everything and what's really happening and in all kinds of instances in the world, would you want to? Or would you say, I just want to live in my happy bubble and I want to not know and live my life in peace?
I mean, they say ignorance is bliss kind of for a reason, but at the same time, I mean, if a human being literally got everything like that just dumped on them, I don't think we'd be capable of handling something like that because of how insane everything is. So
yeah,
I don't think we're built to.
I mean, we talked yesterday, we were talking about Gen Z being the anxious generation. And I'm like, well, no wonder they don't know life before social media and everything is just social media. Everything is delivered right away. Lots of things are fake. There's AI now. You don't know what's real, what's not. You don't know who has a bias and who doesn't. I mean, I can't imagine. Are you guys millennials or are you younger?
97 for me.
Okay, I would say you're a little younger. Yeah, I was born in 84. And so they always say, we had life before all the social media, all the cell phones, and after. I can't imagine having only the after.
Yeah, no, even with me and him, like we both grew up in Camel. So obviously not far from here. And our parents we were both old school. So we grew up and we knew life before phones, technology, and life seemed just so much better before that. And technology and social media to an extent is nice, but I always tell him all the time, if we didn't have to have our own business and need social media to run it, let's go live off grid. That's fine. Just live in peace.
I know. Everybody says, everybody thinks life used to be better and everybody thinks their generation was better. Like, I'm not kidding. I really feel like there is a line drawn that it was. It really was.
Yeah. I feel like so back when I was younger, I got my first phone at 13 and it was just this little phone with like 3 video games and the screen wasn't even white. It was just a blue screen. That's all it was, like a blue light screen.
Yeah.
Garbage, but you know what? That was like peak design back then. That was what we had.
You had your Game Boy, and that was like high tech.
I still have mine.
Yeah.
So,
does it work?
Yes.
Yeah, I have a whole shelf dedicated to all the classic stuff, like Nintendo 64, Game Boys, everything just sitting at home. It's just like, this was all the peak games and stuff. Everybody wants to play like the new Switch games and stuff. Cool, great, but you guys are missing out on making some grown man cry on Mario Party 3.
Yeah, you're like back in my day, I had Duck Hunt and Mike Tyson's Punch Out, and I was terrible at video games, so I don't know a whole lot of video games, but it was definitely different. And Gigapets and Tamagotchis are coming back now, and oh my gosh, it makes me insane when I see like young influencers online and they talk about this brand new thing, and it's like That was there. Yes, that was in the 90s. That was in the early 2000s.
Or they'll pull stuff out from that era, and it's like, wow, look at this ancient relic, and it's like, okay, I see that I've turned 60 today.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You know, it really hits you in the face when your kid starts dressing like you for like decade day at school. And my kid had on like my NSYNC t-shirt and butterfly clips in her hair. And I was like, you don't even know that was the best era. It really was. Everybody thinks it's new now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's like, go back when you didn't have the phone. You couldn't be reached. You could go play outside and feel safe.
And I feel like even like back then, like, people knew how to do a lot more stuff too. Like this day and age, it's all AI driven. It's all, click of a button at your fingertips is the answer, Back then, it's like you had to work for it. I mean, compare Facebook to MySpace, you had to code. You had to know how to code things.
Oh gosh.
Now you can't. You go to college to go and code stuff now. Before, it's like we had to do all that just so then we can make our profile look cool. If we wanted our name to spin around in a circle the entire time, or it catches on fire midway, that was it.
And it wasn't for everybody. Like you had to have a college email address to first get on Facebook when it came out, and it was only for college students. And then it sort of just went mainstream and everybody could get on it. My daughter just recently got an app on her phone, and I'm like, okay, there's faith for humanity. Like there's hope. Rather than just doom scrolling all the time, which absolutely they fall down that rabbit hole. I don't even know what this app is called, but it's basically she calls it like a self-care app. Anything you do in the app gets you points, and it goes towards a little character. She has a little penguin, but the things you do are like do your laundry that day, make your bed that day, cook something that day, clean something that day, do deep breathing. It's like positive things. And every time she does it, she can check it off. And then her little penguin gets something.
Positive reinforcement.
Yeah. And I mean, like, she was like, oh, I'm going to make sure that after my shower, I do this, this, and this. And I'm going to get a load of laundry in so she can, I was like, yay for quick dopamine hits out of being productive rather than dopamine hits of just scrolling reels and everything.
Yeah, if we had more apps like that.
I know. I was like, okay, hope for this generation. It's not so bad. But I've even seen recently they're talking about what state was it or country maybe. They're talking about banning short videos for kids online, like reels and short video content. Because I think, is it Australia that's also put a limit on social media? I think you can't have it till you're like, I don't even know, a certain age, I think.
I'm not sure.
We're in the dark on that one. I don't know.
Yeah, comment if you know what I'm talking about. I feel like it was Australia. I think you've got to be, I don't know, 16, 18, something. I think they're trying to ban, which I don't know how you police that because kids can just put that they were born in a different year.
I mean, you can. Yeah. One of the ways you can probably just, I guess govern that is they have to scan an ID in to be able to create something like that.
What about fake IDs?
Or what about people saying, what am I scanning it into? And now they have all my information. Like they don't already have your information. Yeah. I don't know. But something I should have reread that. I didn't see who was doing this, but some people were saying they want to ban short videos for kids. I think it was, which I don't know. I don't hate that idea. I don't hate it.
No, because I mean, younger kid, they'll see something on there and they're just going to be repeating that all day long. Those short videos,
Yes. Like if we ever have another 6-7, I'm just going to lose it.
Don't even get me started. I catch myself doing that all day long.
Oh my gosh. And like what was funny too is that nobody even understood it. And like that was the joke, is that you don't understand it. Yeah. I mean, there was an origin of it originally, but then it was a running joke of nobody understands 6-7. We're just saying 6-7 to drive people crazy. Like that's what we do now is let's think of something to purposely drive the masses crazy.
It was even funnier watching it on South Park, and they had.
Oh, I missed that.
Yeah.
They did a whole 6-7 thing.
Oh yeah, they really just drug it to the ground.
Oh my gosh!
But I mean, like I catch myself doing that now. Like she'll ask me, like, "Hey, so when are you gonna get home from work?" I'm like, "Oh, probably like 6 or 7." I'm like, Oh no, I'm doing it.
Yeah. Like I'll like re-choose my words just to make sure I'm not saying something that a kid would say. Oh yeah, my kids are now like, bet. Or that's crazy. My daughter says that all the time. That's crazy, bro. And I was like, okay, bro, get your jammies on. Like, I'm so old. I'm so old now. Yeah. So we got a little bit more time left. Anything else you
Awesome.
guys want to discuss or?
You got anything?
Honestly, I'm not 100% sure. My head is a little bit in the clouds because obviously we have stuff going on with our own business, but then literally in like a year and a half, like down the road from here, we're going to be getting married on our own as well.
Oh, how exciting!
Yep.
Yay, congrats! So,
Thank
a year and a
you.
half?
Yep. So September of next year. So whenever I'm not thinking about someone else's wedding, I'm thinking about our own.
Yeah.
So my head's in a million different directions trying to make sure we have everything. Because another thing we can kind of dive into a little bit is actually booking your vendors at a certain point in time. We had to book our photographer that we chose literally well over a year and a half to 2 years in advance. So for us, it's not really as long. If you have popular dates like in September or October, definitely inquire well over a year in advance. But it's crazy with how quickly people book up. I've seen the amount of brides that I have seen for especially like dates like September 26th. I've seen 7/17, 7/11, you know, dates like that. And I've had so many inquiries where I hate doing it. It breaks my heart, but it's like I can't tell you, hey, we're going to be there because the book was taken 6 months ago.
Yeah.
So
and we don't want to double book anything. There's a lot of photographers out there that are, you know, they're money hungry. They're just going to want to double book, triple book, and they won't show up to the wedding. Like you can see us and we'll be like, yeah, we're going to shoot your wedding for you. And then come your wedding day, there's 2 different people there. It's like,
that's not who I hired.
No, that's not who you hired, and you're not going to get the same experience, same anything. It's like, who are you guys? So we don't ever want to double book anything. If you know somebody comes to us and they want this date and they want like a certain style, we have other photographers we work with that we could recommend to them. You know, they might be in a better price range or they might be a little bit more expensive, but you're still going to get something similar. It's just we're not going to put ourselves in that position to where we're going to double book your wedding and we're not going to show up.
Yeah.
You know, who you see is who you get with us.
Do you have something though in a contract that is like they have so much time to cancel because now you can't rebook that date and you're out money? And so if they suddenly cancel you, but
there's just
it's like a week away or a month away, I was going to say you have something, I would think.
So exactly. And the one thing that we do, obviously there is like a cancellation clause inside of the contract. That's if, God forbid, we have to cancel for something. But the way that we handle that is it would be our loss. So if we, for some reason, like someone's in the hospital or someone's deathly ill, we've still shown up to wedding sick. We still, you know, if there's a car accident or something, we find a way to get to that wedding.
Mm-hmm.
But if there is ever, knock on wood, okay, a chance of like, hey, we cannot make it to the wedding, someone will always get a photographer with experience equivalent to us or better. It's always supposed to be relying on the vendor to find a suitable replacement that is equal to, if not better than your skill level.
Oh, so that's good.
Exactly.
So really any vendor then make sure that's in your clause is if God forbid something happens and you can't be here, what is your backup plan? And do I approve of your backup plan?
That's a lot of like, that's one thing that a lot of couples just don't think about. Again, you're doing so much more research now and so much more stuff to get the right vendor for your wedding, where before, you know, it's like you hire somebody, it's done. You know, now it's all these hoops that you have to try to jump through to try to get yourself prepared and taken care of and make sure that your vendor is also going to show up and they have a backup plan. I can't tell you how many times I've been at a wedding and I'll get like 4 or 5 phone calls or a text message or a Facebook post. Hey, my photographer didn't show up, or they're in a wreck and they can't make it, or X, Y, and Z. We have nobody on our wedding day. Like, there's so much of that happening.
Yeah. So are you guys going to use your own equipment on your wedding day?
We've been asked
got
that so many times.
The stuff right over there, and that's just a small sampling of it. We have literally a whole crate just full of photography equipment that we take to every wedding shoot.
Yeah, I could see you kind of like standing up there getting married, looking around like, could you guys move? Because there's a camera. Like,
Like,
you're in our shot. Move, please.
if I really wanted to be, like that, to where we're shooting our own wedding,
Yeah.
I could. The technology's there. I can run everything right off of my phone now.
Yeah.
But I'm not.
No.
Yes, that no.
No.
He's like, we could save some money here. I'll just have a remote in my pocket.
I'd rather not. I'd rather
Yeah.
just keep my equipment at home that day. One day I can actually relax on a weekend.
Yeah, just chill. Just make that day a non-working day and a fun day.
Exactly.
Mhm.
We're workaholics enough. So, I mean, getting married September of next year, right in the middle. But I actually have weddings that are literally booked for the next month after that in mid-October, back-to-back days on the same weekend.
Oh,
So
man.
we're not even doing a honeymoon like immediately after our wedding. We're, save up for it a little bit afterwards because I'd love to go to Greece or Italy personally to see our
Yeah.
respective heritages. But besides that, we literally go right back into work right after our wedding, less than a month.
Yeah,
after
I
the
remember
fact.
when I was getting married. I was getting married in Youngstown, but I was living in Georgia. So everything was sort of planning from afar. And we picked our wedding date by who was available. Like the only, and not that there was anything wrong with them. It was a lovely wedding. But the Georgetown was the only place that had any availability in the
Yeah.
summer. And they were like, well, we could do August 21st. And I was like, hope August 21st is good with everyone because that's what we're doing. And because, yeah, it books out so fast. Everyone's like, oh, we're booked out for 2 years or we're booked out for a year and a half. And we're like, well, so really, I guess the moment you get engaged, start thinking.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we got lucky that the photographer we wanted, me and him, obviously we're both photographers. So we were picky about what exactly we wanted. So we found the girl that we wanted. Thank goodness she was still available on our date for September 18th. But there was a chance also that, she wouldn't have been, and it would have been a bit of a blow to us because we already had the venue secured. We already had the date picked. We had engagement photos and stuff taken. So, I mean, it would have sucked, but at the end of the day, you do what you got to do. But
Yeah.
I've noticed the pattern this year has been whenever we go to bridal shows, I've had a bunch of brides obviously looking for 27 like they should. You have plenty of time. But I also had a fair amount still coming up to us for like 26. I've seen September 12th constantly. I've seen June 26th constantly. And both of those days in our books, I think 26th is still available, but September 12th, I had 3 people back to back ask me if we were booked for that. Again, the date got taken like 6 to 8 months ago. So it's
Yeah.
like the trend I've seen is people are booking a little bit later this year when it's like, if you want a specific type of photographer or style, you got to look sooner than that.
Or how about weekday weddings? I had a friend, I was in her wedding the year before I got married. It was on a weekday because I do think the date had some significance when
Yeah.
they went on their first date or started dating, but also significant discounts on all kinds of vendors,
Oh, yeah.
the band, everything. And it was like a Tuesday, like just a
Yeah.
random Tuesday for a wedding. And
Everything's cheaper like during the weekday compared to the weekend. Your
Yeah.
your most expensive day for a wedding is a Saturday.
Yep.
yeah,
Friday's a little bit cheaper.
and harder to
Saturday's-
find.
Yeah.
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 So weekday wedding, everybody likes to hear it. You're gonna save more money. We're doing one this year too on a Wednesday, and for us, we're doing it for pretty cheap because they don't want a lot. They just want like an hour or two of just coverage, and
Yeah.
that's it. I'm like, perfect. Yeah, we can do this. We can make this happen. Get a little thing in on the weekday, and we're good. It's fine.
Awesome. Well, I'll go ahead and I'll call BJ up because BJ, I don't know how to end the stream because again, I'm not normally in the driver's seat, but thank you guys so much for coming in. And if someone does have any more questions for you, how can they get in contact with you?
So you can get in contact with us at symbolikcreations.com. So symbolic, SYMBOLIK, slightly different spelling, creations.com. Then you have Symbolik Creations on Facebook, Instagram, and now TikTok. You're welcome.
She does all of the social media
All the
stuff.
I
social
try.
media. That's
I-
important.
Tried doing it, and it's just like, yeah, I don't have time for this. I got to edit somebody else's wedding. There's never weekdays are editing, weekends are taking photos and trying to get
It's nonstop.
Oh my gosh, I bet. BJ, I need your help. They're like, this girl, she doesn't know what she's doing here.
Thank you for listening to this show on Youngstown Studio. This is original Youngstown content. Feel free to share our videos and tell your friends about us. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel